Hello and welcome to the sixth edition of ETCIO Annual Conclave 2024. With me is somebody who is India's one of the finest visionary founders. His entrepreneurial journey has redefined the dynamics of hospitality industry. And that's not all. He is one of the most humble Shark Tank judges. And I'm sure by now you must have guessed who I'm talking about. So please welcome Ritesh Agarwal, everyone. Hi, Ritesh. So, how did you like the vibe of the event?
So, first off, thanks for having me here. Especially before I answer you, I want to call out that today is voting day in a lot of states. I just voted and came here, so I request anyone who's not voted yet to please go out and vote. I think the vibe here is fantastic. You get a sense of the most modern technologies, the biggest cybersecurity risks, and real life business challenges between CIOs of companies from real life businesses, and on the other hand, companies which are partners of the ETCIO Summit who are bringing in the most modern new technologies to the fore. So I thought it was a fantastic place, something that you'd spend a full year for meetings. You can do it in probably just a day or two. So I like that.
Another question is can you please share any funny incident of the time when you were coming up with Oyo? Or maybe, what are your friends' perspective about it? Or maybe your relatives? Any funny incident that you would like to share with us?
I would say two of them. The first one is when I started my career at Oyo, I used to be the front office manager, receptionist, everything, because first would tell me you have nobody else really, right? So once one of the housekeeping people was shot in the hotel because they were on leave or something like that. So customer called for a cleaning. I went and did the cleaning in the room. At the end, the customer gave me a 10 rupee tip. So I think that was one that I remember for a long time. And later, when the customer came to check out, they saw me at the reception. So they were like, "You do everything, is it?" That was one memory that I remember very well because the way customer reacted at the end, and the customers remained friends for a long time with me. The other one is, I think I think a year back, Chetan Bhagat was trying to sort of pull my leg by asking that, Ritesh, what is Oyo used for the most? I said, well, Oyo is used for the most in religious destinations. And I think he was fascinated about it. But that's the reality that today almost 20% of our revenue comes from just religious destinations in India, especially with how Ayodhya, Mathura, Vrindavan, etc. are growing, Rameshwaram. We are just sort of very enthused with the opportunities of accommodation there. So I think reality of life is when you're pursuing an entrepreneurial journey, if you see both of these situations, those are in some way turning points, right? But for the first time, you realize that when you're an entrepreneur, you have to do everything. Now, either you can be bothered and disappointed about it, or you can enjoy it. So I have tried to enjoy it and take life one day at a time.
So another question is that you have gained a lot of admiration as a Shark Tank judge. So has that changed people's perspective about you now?
Look, first off, I think I'm very thankful that I have seen over the last 10 years. I feel like I have publicly grown up from being a teenager to now just turning 30 in front of the broader startup ecosystem and the business ecosystem. So I think most people have seen me over the years through my highs and lows. Entrepreneurs in the community have supported me in the toughest time, and in the best time, they have cheered me along. So for that, I'm very thankful. But I think what Shark Tank has done is two important things. First, is the younger people, and even the people who are sort of professionals and so on. They sort of course, feel like you can build big businesses and still be just a normal person. And I think that's one thing that I hope that is a positive thing. But at least I feel that reflection from people. And the second is at the same time, I get pitched more, which is a good thing because I get to support and help entrepreneurs a lot more, and sometimes in a funny way as well. So I think I enjoy the opportunity to help a lot of these entrepreneurs both in the tank and outside the tank as well. But I think what Shark Tank is doing is truly transformative to the Indian startup ecosystem.
Another question is you have once said in an interview that entrepreneurs should have fun. So what's your idea of having fun?
Look, my idea of having fun is to make sure that every moment should be truly enjoyed to the fullest. You will have days when you feel like you had a terrible day. When you have many good days, you will remember that one terrible day as a one unique day that you had. Similarly, when you reach a milestone, take a step back and celebrate for that as well. And celebration doesn't have to be, what is quintessentially thought about. So, for example, we as a company typically like to celebrate with our families because we believe that when people come to work, their husbands or wives have no idea about the enthusiasm and the excitement their families are seeing, but they still support their partners. So that's why we try to make sure that when we are celebrating, we try and bring our families together and take just a step back and celebrate. Similarly, when there are challenges, we bring everybody together and make sure that we learn about what has gone wrong. So my view is that enjoyment is nothing but creating moments that you can remember and think about. 10 years back we had that moment that was once in a lifetime. So I think that allows you to never have any regrets for every day that you spend, and that's what I try to live my life with. No regrets.
So this was my interaction with Ditesh Agarwal. Stay tuned with ETCIO Annual Conclave 2024 for more updates about what's happening right here at the event.